Good morning, students. Welcome to the second part of the chapter Energy Flow in an Ecosystem. Previously, we have learned that how the energy is transferred from producer to the top consumer. Though the energy flow in an ecosystem is one way, the flow of nutrients is cyclic. Do you know how? Before answering this question, tell me, whenever you hear word cycle with reference to science, what comes first to your mind? I think your answer includes one of these. Whether it's seasons or life on earth, nature works in cycles. So let's explore few more cycles of biogeochemical cycles. Dear students, before moving to the cycles, let's understand the meaning of the word biogeochemical. If you observe this word carefully, you will notice that it covers everything on the earth. Here, bio suggests all living organisms on earth, that is, biotic components. Geo includes all non-living parts of the earth, like air, land, water, that is, abiotic components. And chemical indicates different reactions occurring on earth. So, what is biogeochemical cycle? The cyclical flow of nutrients or chemicals within an ecosystem is called biogeochemical cycle. This cycle operates continuously through the medium of the biosphere formed by the lithosphere, atmosphere, and hydrosphere. Biogeochemical cycle can be classified into two cycles, that is, gaseous cycle and sedimentary cycle. Gaseous cycle includes oxygen, carbon dioxide, nitrogen, etc. Sedimentary cycle includes soil components like diamond, iron, calcium, etc. These cycles cannot be completely separated from each other. How? That you will understand by studying the following cycles. Carbon cycle. Will you believe although air consists of only 0.04% carbon dioxide, everything around us is made up of carbon? Then too, the first thing that comes to our mind on hearing carbon is carbon dioxide that we release during respiration. But do you know? There are many biotic and abiotic components which release carbon in atmosphere. Like combustion. Burning of fossil fuels and wood, forest fire, etc. releases a large amount of carbon dioxide in atmosphere. Even burning of fuel in vehicles releases carbon monoxide in atmosphere. Respiration. Human and animals exhale carbon dioxide during respiration process. Decomposition. Dead organisms are decomposed by bacteria and fungi. During this process, carbon dioxide is released into atmosphere. All the carbon dioxide that is gathered in atmosphere is used by plants during the photosynthesis process to prepare food. Plants converts carbon dioxide into carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. It can be represented by this chemical reaction. As we have learned in food chain, this food is consumed by herbivores and the cycle goes on. In this way, carbon is continuously passed on from one living organism to another, and after the death of consumers back to the atmosphere, and is used again by living organisms. The next one is oxygen cycle. This cycle is closely linked to the carbon cycle. The major sources of oxygen are atmosphere and hydrosphere. Air consists of 21% of oxygen. The importance of oxygen for sustaining life can be understood by the fact that we need oxygen for breathing. Plants play an important role in maintaining balance of this vital gas. We have seen that plants use atmospheric carbon dioxide and prepare their own food. In this process, maximum amount of oxygen is released into the atmosphere. Animal and human utilize this oxygen for respiration. Oxygen is also utilized in various other processes such as combustion, corrosion, rusting, decomposition, etc. As oxygen is highly reactive, it readily reacts with other elements and compounds. In this way, oxygen is continuously produced and used up in the atmosphere. The third cycle is nitrogen cycle. Students, as we know, nitrogen occurs as 78% part of atmosphere, but the atmospheric nitrogen is difficult to use, hence there is necessity to fix this nitrogen in its useful form. For this, let's learn the nitrogen cycle in detail. The first step is fixation, in which free or elemental nitrogen is fixed by certain bacteria and is converted to ammonium. In the second step, that is nitrification, bacteria converts ammonium into nitrates and these nitrates are absorbed by plants. And nitrogen is used in amino acid, nucleic acid, etc. The next step is ammonification. When plants and animals die, fungi and bacteria convert their nitrogen into ammonia and transfer it to nitrogen cycle. And in the last step, denitrification, special bacteria converts extra nitrogen from the soil into its elemental form and release them back in air. Other than the bacteria, even atmospheric lightning allows the fixation of nitrogen to some extent by forming oxides of nitrogen in air. So students, with this we have completed the chapter. Here is the repetition of points which we have learned today. Biogeochemical cycle is classified into gaseous cycle and sedimentary cycle. Carbon cycle, oxygen cycle and nitrogen cycle are the types of gaseous cycle. Thank you.